Hey there, friends, and welcome back to another 3-Minute Thoughts. My name is Derek, and in the next 3 minutes, we're going to take a look at Matthew chapter 22 and Mark chapter 12. These two chapters come together to take us really close to that final moment for Jesus. He's in his final week as he's in Jerusalem. The setting is the temple courts. Jesus is being challenged by the religious elite. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, and teachers of the law don't like what he's doing, and therefore they're challenging his thoughts, words, and actions. Both groups are going to try to trap him, but every time they make these attempts, Jesus reveals the true heart of God's kingdom. It's all about love, integrity, and divine authority. Let's take a look at the beginning, Matthew chapter 22, 1-14. This is the parable of the wedding banquet. Jesus tells this parable about a king who prepares a wedding feast for his son. Those invited, symbolizing Israel's leaders, they refuse to come because they think that they're too good for it or have other things to do. The king then opens the invitation to everyone, both good and bad, filling the hall completely. Yet one guest is thrown out for lacking wedding clothes. The whole story reflects God's open invitation through Christ. All are welcome at the table. The gospel extends beyond Israel's walls to other nations. But response matters. Entering God's kingdom requires being clothed in his righteousness, not our own. While grace is free, it also demands transformation into his image. Matthew 22, verses 15-22, and Mark 12, 13-17 is the Pharisees and the Herodians, the political opposites, are uniting now to trap Jesus with a question. Is it lawful to pray or to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Jesus' reply is simple and brilliant. Render to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. You see, coins bear Caesar's image. Human beings bear God's image. The implication is pretty simple. Our loyalty to human authorities has limits, but our ultimate allegiance belongs to God alone. Continuing on, verses 23 to 33 of Matthew 22, and then Mark 12, 18-27, the Sadducees deny the resurrection, and therefore they pose a hypothetical question about marriage in the afterlife. Jesus responds with authority, saying they misunderstood both Scripture and God's power. He's not the God of the dead, but the God of the living, is his response. Then there's the greatest commandment, which is you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, mind, and with all your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. This is a great way for us to understand what it is that God's kingdom is truly all about. There's questions about David's son, warnings about the scribes, and then there's this widow's offering. The people Jesus observes people giving in the temple, and she put in this little tiny sum, which actually was more. The whole thing about this section is that Jesus sees things from a totally different perspective, and when we look at the world through the lenses of Scripture, we can have the same perspective. All right, be well, friends.